Sinha in front of you along with one more live session in which I am going to discuss about one of the computer science project or of a point known as file handling that is a part of class 12 syllabus. I hope all of my students are already been connected over here, so I would like to see them through their comments. Please do write your comments so that I may know that all of you are getting connected over here. As always I do, before starting the right content, before starting the exact point of file handling, I would like to take you to the tour that how I am going to discuss the entire points in the entire 1 hour session. So first of all, I would like to talk to you regarding the importance of specific uh, this specific topic which we are going to learn today, the file handling, that why we are learning this file handling and how it is important for a student. Okay. Then after that, I would like to introduce to you what exactly a file is, and then I would like to tell you that how many types of files are there, then what are different modes of the files, and how do we start working on a different type of file. Okay, then what are the process, like first we open the file and after that we start doing our operation, and how to close the file, how to delete the file, what are the standard input and output devices, and how do we handle these devices using our Python programming. So these are different type of points that we would like to discuss today. So let us start with discussing. I can see here Piyush is here. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, kid. Uh, so the very first point that I would like to tell you that why it is important to study file handling. See, it is one of the important concept when we are working on any of the web application to handle files. Not only web application, see, any kind of application when it is utilized, it creates any type of file to store the information. Like try to think that if you are using MS Word, okay, so what do? You just start typing some content over there and you just save it in a file. Okay, so a specific type of file having a specific extension is created using that particular application. Okay, so if you are going to do any of the project, if you are going to create any of the application, like suppose you have created an application that is going to be your project itself. Okay, so what will happen that suppose you have designed an application where you are going to register different students. Okay, for that purpose you might be taking input the name, the information about each and every student, like ID would be there, the name would be there, roll number, the marks and addresses and contact number, and so many information you would be taking as an input. Okay, while any person is using your application, so what will happen, you are supposed to store this information somewhere. Okay, for that purpose you need a file. Either you will like to write those informations in a specific type of file, or you would like to store it in some database or some other kind of file. Okay, so in that situation what happens when we want to store it in a file, we need to handle a file now with the help of our own programming. Okay, like in other scenario also I would like to tell you, suppose you have made a project in which you have an option of login ID and password. Okay, so for that purpose also you would require that the login ID would be created for some of the users. Okay, or you are going to give the user a general type of choice of creating their login ID and password, or randomly you have created a password for them, and later in some part of the program, next time when the user comes, then he or she is supposed to log in with the given ID, and you are supposed to check the validity of the password. Okay, for that purpose also you would require that all the information of that login and ID should be stored somewhere in the file. Okay, for in those situations you are going to handle these files, and for that purpose you would require that file handling, the topic should be clear to you. You must know the concept of what the file handling is and all the options that you will use in the Python programming, using which you will be able to do such kind of operations. Okay, so this was the importance. See, actually what happens that in class 12, you are supposed to create a project in the last of the session, which is supposed to be submitted by you at the time of board examination practical board examination. Okay, for that part it is quite essential that you should study whatever you are studying in class 11th and class 12th. You should be very clear about the concepts, because as you know that computer science is a practical subject. It means whatever you are going to learn the concept, you can just see those concepts, you can validify those whatever the topics you are studying by doing the programming part. Okay, if you are going to write the program related to file handling, you will understand the concept very well. Okay, so the best part, the best style of learning is that this is the correct time when you are in class 12, in the starting of class 12. Be clear about your project topic, that on which topic you are supposed to make your project, so that whatever the lessons you are going to learn here in the classroom, those concepts you can implement in your project. And that's why it will take a long time till the entire year you would be able to complete your project side by side. Okay, you are learning in the class one topic, you are learning, you are trying to implement it through simple codes, and then different type of examples you are going through, and then implementing that concept in your project. Okay, in this way, side by side, both of things will go on, and you would be able to complete your project on time, and that will definitely going to make you learn a lot and definitely enjoy. You will enjoy your project also. So now you might have understood that what is the importance of this file handling. Okay, in all of the languages, whatever you study, whether it is Python, Java, C++, or C, whatever the language, okay, you will always get some facility to handle these type of files. Okay, so I shall talk about Python especially, because we are going to learn Python in class 12 also, and we are having in class 11th curriculum also. See, now we have understood that what is the importance of learning file handling, and where in practically we are going to utilize this concept. Now coming to the concept, before learning what actually is file handling, how we are going to handle this file, the concept of file must be clear to us. So what is the file? File, what comes in your mind when you think about file? As you think about file, the computer file, you just start thinking, okay, it's somewhere, so many information are being stored somewhere in some specific name that we can find on our system or anywhere wherever it has been stored. Okay, yes, that is quite correct. I mean, the file is meant for that, meant for storing some information for future use. Okay, and coming to the implementation part, if we come to the implementation part, that how these files are actually implemented in the memory, that we can say that files are basically the bunch of bytes. The bunch of bytes that has been stored somewhere in any of the storage devices, sometime it may be RAM, or it may be hard disk, or it may be pen drive, or whatever the storage devices you are having, you can store it. Okay, for your future requirement, for your future use. So how it is implemented, why I am saying that is a bunch of byte only, because you know that on the lower level, all the informations are stored in the terms of zeros and ones, the bytes, bits and bytes. Okay, so we can say that a file is a bunch of bytes that is stored on any of the storage devices. Okay, now coming to the part that how many kind of files are there? Can file be of different kinds? See, if you think in that way, that if you are working on a Word file, then it is a Word file, then Excel file is there. Different kind of files are, DBMS files are different, quite different. Not like that. I am talking about the programming part, and I am talking about the implementation part. On that basis, we can say file are of two types. Okay, one is the text file, and one is the binary file. Okay, one is the text file, and one is the binary file. So what is the difference between text file and binary file? See, in text file, what happens, that whatever the information you try to store is stored according to the ASCII codes or the Unicode, whatever your program is implementing as default. The all of the information will get stored in ASCII code, okay, or the Unicode. This is the text file you are going to create. And what about binary files? All the information is in binary format. So what one more difference is there? Okay, this is the basic difference of a text file and a binary file. That in text file, all the information is in ASCII or Unicode format, and in the binary file, it is in the binary format. Okay, like images, etc., whatever you can store. Okay, One more difference is that when the compiler reads the text file, what happens that at the end of each line, okay, at the end of each line there is a code inserted internally that is known as EOL, that is end of line. That is a type of code. It may be made up of /n or /r+n, something like that, but some code is there, okay. For if you will store one line, at the end of the line EOL code will get attached, okay. Then the next information, next line, again at the end of the next line you are code will be attached, okay. In this way the entire information is stored. So what happened at the time when compiler start reading the content from left to right, okay, at the end of the line it encounters that code EOL, okay, that code it encounters. And what happened, to understand the code it has to be converted, okay. The conversion or the translation of that code is to be done for the compiler to understand that code, and it has to be done every time for reading each and every line, okay. So that's why it is a little slower process, a little bit slower process. It takes time, because for reading every line, for completing the reading of every line, text line, at the end of the line, the EOL is supposed to be translated for the compiler so that it can understand that, okay, it is the end of the line and now I have to move on the next line and so on like that. So a little conversion is required, and that's why a little slower process. But what happens in binary file, there is no such code has been added, nothing is supposed to be added, and that is why the reading, the compilation of that file is quite easy and faster. So now this was like what is a file and what are two different kinds of files that we are going to handle through our programming. Okay. Now, as you know that whenever we write a program, we have been given so many predefined modules or library files we have been getting. Okay. For what purpose? For doing our different kind of that able us to use different kind of functionalities. So in Python, what is the best part of Python is that the standard library that is basically implemented, pre-implemented, and that is for you, okay. In that case, it has so many functionalities, it has so many modules that for so many work, you do not need to even implement or call in import any of the module. Like for file handling also, you are not required to import any particular module, okay. For opening a file, doing some reading writing procedure and closing the file, you can just start writing the functions. Those are predefined, okay. So in Python, for handling these type of files, you have already been provided with predefined functions that you are supposed to learn, okay. But before going to those functions, few of things that are there that should be clear to us. And the first point was what a file is, and we are going to work on two different type of files, whether it is text or it is binary. See, by default, Python works on text file, okay. So working on text file, it means whatever the file we are going to work, we are supposed to tell Python that yes, we want to work on binary file, we want to work on text file. If you are working on a text file, then small t is the code, okay, for telling the compiler that I am working on that it is a text file. But since Python, by default, Python takes a text file, that is why you are not supposed to tell every time or write every time t, okay. So it is not to be defined. But if you are working on a binary file, then small b is the code for binary file, and that is supposed to be passed in the program wherever required, okay. Now the second part is that if you want to handle those files, few steps are there. If we want to work on any of the file, then first of all that file is supposed to be opened, okay, the first step. Second step is whatever the operation we are trying to do, we have to perform those operations on the file. And the third step is we are supposed to close the file, okay. Now how we are going to do these things with the help of our programming, that's quite confusing a little bit for the students who are the newer one, but wait, it's going to be easy for all of you. Don't bother. Okay. So see, now you have understood file and its different types and the codes itself and the three steps required for functioning on doing on these files. I mean, opening the file, doing the operations, and then closing the file. This is all important. Okay. Now what happens? See, there are different modes. Mode means what? You have already seen mode in different way. It shows it basically tells the compiler that what type of operation we are trying to do on a file. Okay, the mode will decide that what type of operations can be performed on a given file. Okay, so there are different kind of modes. Suppose we do have a file in our system and I want to access the code. I mean, I want to read those codes. Okay, I just want to read those codes. It means I have to open that file in a read mode. Okay, so there is a read mode. What does it do? Read mode will open your specified file in a mode in which you would be able to access the content of that file. Okay, it's okay, but you would not be able to write. But the foremost condition for a read mode is that your file must exist on your system. Suppose if the file is not existing on the system, if it is not stored somewhere in your system and you are trying to open that file and read that file, it will definitely give an error. And what kind of error would be it? It will be a runtime error because the file is not there. Okay, so the file must be there somewhere on the storage device you are trying to access and you are trying to read. This is the read mode, and the code for read mode is R, small r. Okay, when you are working, see, when you are working on a text file, if you are trying to open a text file and trying to read the content, then the mode is only R. Okay, small r. If you are working on a binary file, it has to be RB. RB. B for binary. Combination of R and B. I mean read mode in the binary file. Like that. Now second mode is write mode. What does it for? What does it do? See, write mode is for writing on the file. Suppose you are having a file and you want to write something on that. Okay. Two conditions may arise. It might happen that you do have a file, okay, in which you want to write, or you might not have any file which you are mentioning and still you are wanting to write something on that file. In that condition, what happens? If you work on write mode, if the file is there, if the existing file is there which you want to use, will get opened for you. Okay, whatever the content is there in the file, previous content will get erased, and whatever you will write in this mode will get written on the file, overwritten. Okay, it will get overwritten. So what will happen if you will work in a write mode, then if the file exists, it will get open for you. Okay, by after erasing the content, previous content, and now your file is clean, you can use it, you can write anything over here. Okay, so this is in the write mode what we do. One more mode is there, that is known as append mode. Okay, what happens in append mode? Append means to add something. Okay, here also what happens that if you are trying to open a file, okay, write mode also, one more thing I would like to add. Suppose if the file, what happens if the file does not exist? If the file does not exist and we are trying to open it in a write mode for writing something, then it will create a new file for you, okay, and open the file for you to write. Now coming to the append mode, what happens? And what is the code for write mode? W. Okay, W, small w. And when you are working on a binary file, it will become WB. Okay. Then coming to the append mode. What happens in the append mode? That suppose you are having a file and you are wanting to open that specific file in append mode. Okay, append mode is basically used when you want to add something in the previous content of a file. Okay, it will open your file with the previous content over there. It will never erase those content, but it will let you add rest of the content in the end of the file somewhere. Okay, whatever the content is there, After that, you would be able to write your content or append or add your content over there. This is the working style of append mode. Okay. If you are not having any such file which you want to append something on that, then it will create one for you. Okay. Then one more mode is there, basically, that is not in your syllabus given. X, small x, create mode. Okay. It simply what does that, if you will specify a name, give a name to the file and write X as a mode, then it will create a file for you in the specified name. Okay. And if the file exists, अगर पहले से, if the file is previously there in the storage medium, then it will give you an error message. Okay. So if you don't have a file and you want to create one file, then you can use this mode, create mode. Okay. And the code for create mode is X, small x. Okay. So these were the basic modes. Now we can utilize these mode in combination also. Like when we were using write mode, then only writing was being done. I mean, only you were able to do the writing part only. If you were opening the file in a read mode, then you were able to just read only. And when you were when you opened your file in append mode, then you were able to append only. But we can use the combination also. Okay. Like I want to open my file in a read mode. I mean, just want to read, but I want that I must be able to write over there also. Okay. Then what? Then there is a code R plus. Okay. Small r and plus. It will show that the file has been opened in read mode, but still writing can be done. Okay. But the basic nature of the mode will be of read mode. The basic characteristic of read mode would be there. Okay. In this way, you can use W plus, A plus also. Okay. Where different type of read write can be performed. So these are the modes in which we are going to open our file. Now, what I told you earlier that whenever we want to handle a file, we are supposed to open the file, perform the action, and then close the file. Okay. For that purpose, we don't need any of the module to be imported. Like we have predefined functions to open a file and read or write operations, and to close the file, to delete the file, something like that, everything. So first of all, I would like to tell you about how to open a file. Okay. To open a file to work on, we do have a function in the name of open. OPEN, open. Open is the name of function that you can directly use in your program as you use print function, int function. These are the default functions you are getting with your Python programming. So you can directly use open. Open file takes two arguments. Okay, it takes two, or you can say that it takes two parameters, and so when you will be calling this function, you are supposed to pass two arguments. Okay, what are those two arguments which you are supposed to pass while calling this function? You are supposed to pass the name of the file you want to open. Okay, and second is the mode in which you want to work. Okay, suppose I want to open abc file, abc.txt. I mean, it is a text file. So open, and in the parenthesis I will write in quotes the name of the file which I want to open, comma, the next parameter, and that is the mode. I want to open it in a write mode. So suppose W, small w, okay, in quotes. Now open file, what does it do? It depends upon the mode we have written. If we have written the read mode, then it will check if the file exists. If the file exists, it will just open that file for you in a read mode. Okay. Uh, okay, and it will return what? The reference or the object, you can say. An object is created to hold the address. Suppose basically what happens when we call a function, it is, since it is a type of function which returns something, and as I have already taught you, if a function is returning some value or something, then it has to be utilized somewhere. Okay, we are supposed to utilize it. And this function, what will it do? It will, in the memory somewhere, it will open that file and the address of that memory will be returned. Okay, so it has to be stored somewhere. So a variable is taken and there it is, the address is been what stored. And now what is this address is actually, it is basically an object. Why? Because it is referencing to that file. Okay, so it is the file handle for us as a user. Okay, it is a file handle for us as a user to handle that particular file which have been opened in the memory somewhere. Okay, or the object, we call it as an object also. So using that particular variable, suppose I have taken file or file out or f1, whatever the name you like to write, like something like that, is equal to open, and that in parenthesis I have given the name of the file and comma and the mode I have given. Okay, so that file is open. Now if the when the file is open, then we are supposed to perform the operation. Now, two types of operations basically we try to perform. Either we try to read or we try to write. Okay, or we can perform lots of. These are the basic functions. Okay, like reading and writing. You can perform so many type of functions on your level. You can think of. Suppose you want to search a different type of a specific type of string over there. Suppose you want to count that how many lines are there. Suppose you want to find out what is the size of the file is there. Suppose you want to sort out the values, whatever is there stored in there. Suppose you want to copy the content of that file in different file based on some conditions or there, or you want to remove it, or you want to delete it, or you want to do such kind of options, uh, or you want to write, or just, am I audible? I hope I am audible. Okay, so these kind of operations can be done on the file with the help of read and write function. So what happens when for reading a file? Okay, there are different functions. Again, predefined function is there if you want to perform a read operation on the file. Like the first function is read function. Okay, read function is basically used for reading the content of the file you have opened. Okay, if you can understand the concept of object, then you will understand that read is a part of that object. I mean the file handle, or on this level you can just think about like that, that the variable in which we have stored the address. Now we have stored the address of that particular file which got opened in the memory. So that particular variable I am talking about, this is known as the object, and whatever the function we are going to use will be with the help of this whatever this variable. Okay, the object itself. Okay, this is the file handle, the file handle you can understand. So for reading purpose also there is a function in the name of read. So how we are going to use this read function? We are going to write file or the file out or file in, whatever the name of the whatever was the name of the variable, dot read function. Okay, so what it will do, it will just read the entire content of your file. Okay, and it will store it somewhere. So it will return it, it will read the content and it will return it. So again this function is returning you those lines, na? So you are supposed to store it somewhere. Again one variable you will take, like str is equal to f1 dot read. Okay, without passing any argument. So this will read the entire content of your file and get stored in str name variable. Okay, now you can print your str. Okay, or you can directly use in print function, print, and within the parenthesis you can write f1 dot read. Now what if I want to read some specific number of characters only? I don't want to read the entire file. So for that purpose what we can do is use this read function by passing some parameter, I mean some passing some argument to it, what the number of the characters I want to read. Okay, so in this condition how I shall use it? I shall use it like f1 dot read, and in parenthesis let me pass 20. So the 20 bytes or the 20 characters is going to read. and when you will print that str, then you will get only 20 characters from your file. Okay. Now what if I want to read line, one line at a time? I want to read one line of the text file at a time. Okay. For that purpose, we do have a function in the name of read line. Okay. Read line is a function that enables the user to read a single line at a time. Okay. It means you are supposed to open your file, then read line function, use this function to read one line. It will just read a single line of your file. You will store that one line in any of the str or any of the variable and get it printed, or you can use directly in the print function to print the single line. So what will happen when your file one line would be read? When the next time you will read in the same program, you will write the line to read another line, then you are supposed to call this function again. Okay, if it means that if we want to read our entire file line by line using read line function, that so many times read line is supposed to be used. So we basically use inside the loop, so that within a loop we can read different lines of a file using this read line function. Now here you should understand one more concept, that is pointer of. What is a file pointer? You should be clear over here. So see, what is file pointer? It is just like a bookmark. Okay, you understand the functioning of bookmark, na? Whenever we use a bookmark inside the book to show the specific point. Okay, I was just here last time I read here. So now from this line I have to start. So this is the working of a bookmark basically. You will get there. So what happens that the same concept is there in the file also. Okay, there is a cursor in the file, so it behaves differently on the basis of the functions you are using in the particular file. Okay, this is the position. It shows, the cursor shows the exact position or the location inside the file where the reading or the writing process will take place. Okay, if the cursor is in the starting line of your file, suppose this is your file and this is the very first character, then your cursor is here. It means if you are going to use read function, it is going to start reading from here. Okay, okay, this is the work of cursor or the file pointer, you can say. So when we use read function, what it does, basically it start reading where the cursor is positioned in your file. It will read from there only. Okay, till the end or till where you have defined. Suppose I have given, remember I had given 20 na, I have passed 20 as an argument in read function. So after the 20 characters the cursor will be here. Okay, and after that if I am going to use the read line, the same read line function in the same program, then it will start reading from that position. One line it will read. Okay, at the end of the line it will stop. The cursor will come here, will get position where, at the end of the line. Okay, so for the next time if I want to read the next line and I am using the read line function, the cursor will start reading from that position and one line. Okay, like that it ends at the line and come to the next line position. This is the working of file pointer. In higher classes you will learn how to handle this pointer also. Okay, how to find that where the cursor is located, and regarding that or working on that. So there are lots of things to be covered, but I think that all of you might be clear now that what a file pointer is and how we are going to open a file, and then after opening how do we use read and read line function. One more function is there, read lines. Okay, if I want to read number of lines at a time, then I can use read lines. So what is the characteristic of this function? Basically what it does, that whatever the lines it reads, it just store it in the it just read those lines and return it in the form of a list. Okay, it means whatever the lines it is going to read, number of lines you are going to specify and it is going to read through this function, then it will return a list of those lines. Okay, so this is the working of read lines function. So till now you might have understood what a file is, what are two different type of files, I mean what is a binary file, what is a text file, what is the difference between these two, what exactly is a mode and how many kind of modes are there we can work on, and what are the three steps for working on a file, that is opening, performing the operations and then closing. Now within these points we have learned on the how to open a file using open function and what are the arguments that are supposed to be passed, like the name of the file and the mode itself. Then what happens when we call this function open function, an object is returned, that is the reference, that is the address of that particular file in the memory, and using that reference as a handle you try to handle the entire file and perform all the operations on that file. Okay, that is the reference or the handle or the object, you can understand. So again, next what we wanted to perform the read operation. Okay, for performing this read operation on your file, there are three distinct functions like read, read line and read lines. Three functions are there. Read can read the entire file. If you are not passing any argument, any number, then it will read your entire file and return it to you. Okay, if you are passing some argument in the form of some number, then it will read that much of byte and return it to you, or byte or character, you can understand. Okay, if you want to read a single line or line by line you want to read your file, for that purpose you are having a function in the name of read line. Okay, so every time you will use read line you will be able to read one line. Okay, you can use this function within a loop to read the entire file line by line, line by line. Okay, then what happens, we are having a read lines function also with us that make us enable to read number of lines at a time. Okay, what does this function do? It basically read the numbers of line and return it in the form of a list. Okay, so this was for reading the purpose. Now for writing purpose, I mean I want to write on my file any of the information I want to write. So the first thing is that I am supposed to open the file in the write mode. Okay, for write mode, for opening a file in write mode, what was required, that again the open function should be there. Okay, we are going to call this function open, and what we are going to pass here, the name of the file. If the file exists, it will open it and erase the content, the entire content, the previous content will get erased and it will be ready for overwriting. Okay, if you are not having any such file in that name, then it is going to create one more file for you in the same name, that is empty, and you are there to write everything. For writing purpose, we are having two functions with us. Okay, like for reading we had three functions, for writing we have two functions, write and write lines. Again, for using those functions we are supposed to use the handle, like handle dot write function. Okay, and in the object dot write function, and what was the object, the name of the variable, don't forget please. Suppose it was f1, the file1, file out, or whatever the name you have given. Okay, like object, if you have given obj, you have given, then obj dot write function. For write function, what you are going to pass, whatever the string you want to write, you can pass in the function itself and it will get written in your file. Okay, so with the help of write function, write, and in parenthesis you are supposed to pass the string that you want to write. It will get written on your file. Okay. Now if you want to write some content and then on the next line you want to write some content, no problem. You can add backslash n at the right or at the end of the sentence, and it will place your cursor in the next line and you can start writing over there. What if I want to write so many lines at a time? For that purpose, write lines is the function which you can use. Okay. Through lines, what we can do, suppose I have a list. Okay. And the elements of the list are basically what? Basically one line. Okay. I mean, I do have a list of lines. Each element is a line. I can pass this entire list as an argument to the write lines function, so that all the lines should get written. but a problem is there. What? It will start writing in the same. It will never send the cursor to the next line. For that purpose, what we should do, actually, what is the best way of writing in that way? That whatever you want to write in a line, make a string of that, and at the end of the string, add backslash n to just place the cursor on the next line. Hello? Hello? हेलो. हाँ सर, ये ब्लैक हो गया थोड़ा, आई मीन नहीं, किसने ख़त्म किया? नहीं, ये लाइव अभी इसमें 41 ये टाइम चल रहा है ऊपर, और मैंने, हाँ मैं वही कह रही हूँ कि मुझे भी यहाँ नहीं दिख रहा, क्या करूँ? अरे पढ़ा रही थी तो कैसे पूछती, वही तो बात है, मैं देख ली, मैंने कहा था मैं लास्ट में देख लूँगी, अब क्या करूँ? हाँ हाँ, देख लिया। नहीं तो मैं भी देखती हूँ, शायद ये ठीक हो जाए, अपने आप ठीक तो हो जाएगा ना, रिफ्रेश इसको फिर से करूँ क्या? अच्छा, तो मैं ऐसे ही बैठी हूँ, फिर हो जाए तो फिर मैं फिर से स्टार्ट करूँ, मैं भूल भी गई मैं क्या पढ़ा रही थी, राइट फंक्शन पढ़ा रही थी। अच्छा ठीक है, चलिए ठीक है, मैंने देख लिया आपका, अभी नीचे खिसका के देखा ना। हाँ, ठीक है, चलिए देखते हैं, बफरिंग होने लगी, आज ही होना है सब। वही मैं तो, Am I visible and audible too?